important and very serious issues. All over the world now, there are conversations about the future of our planet. And every country is active, every continent is active. And it seems in our part of the world, whilst the whole world is having a conversation about how to restore and conserve our planet, we have rather accelerated our destruction mechanisms to our planet. And it's very, very scary. If you look at the menace of Galamsey and its impact on the environment, not just Galamsey, trees, curtains, huge businesses for people involved in it, but negative impact for the population. But the bigger problem which confronts us, apart from the people who are engaged in this, is a lack of awareness. And that's why if you listen to all the questions coming out about how do we enforce it, how do we take it from there, what happens next. And I think from the first point of view is awareness. The awareness has to do with public education. And events like what is happening today are part of the awareness processes, the advocacies that must happen, the activism that must happen. And we all have a role to play in that activism. We all have a role to play in educating the people. I always have the view that you can't teach a bulldog a new trick. And so how do we go from the bottom? The basic schools, the elementary schools, the kids growing up. How do we create an environmentally aware society? That job is not a one-person job. It's a communal job which we must all get involved. We must all play our little role in ensuring that we make people environmentally aware and know that the environment is also just like a human being. It responds to the things we throw at it, we give to it. The environment will give back to us exactly what we give to it. And since we are the people who depend most on the environment, we have a much bigger responsibility to ensure its safety. Then in terms of legal enforcement, I want to ask young people in this country, all of us, every election cycles, political parties present their manifestos. You look at the education, look at health policies. When have we begun to ask questions about environmental sustainability policies of political parties, the environmental vision of political parties? Have we asked for an environmental manifesto for politicians? Have we asked? In Europe now, every economic policy is being linked to environmental sustainability. They call it the ESG, environmental sustainability governance. And every economic policy that you implement as a country must be linked to environmental sustainability. What are we doing here in ensuring that when government says I'm going to do a policy, I'm going to implement one district, one factory? Yeah. How do we ask the government what is the impact of this policy on the environment? If the government wants to implement a mining policy, the government says I'm going to do oil drilling or conservation, what is the impact of government's policy on the environment? Have we asked these questions?
Every Ghanaian must know, and that knowledge should spur us to action to stop this law from being implemented. So this statement is about mining in forest reserve, and with that it is time to break through the silence. Now, certain developments in the forest and mining sector have recently come to light that all Ghanaians, especially communities around forest reserves, need to be aware of, and the potential impact on their lands and forests. In November 2022, that is last year, almost at the end of the year, if you take note, November 2022 was also a critical period of the last quarter. Remember, we were in Egypt for COP27. At the same time, right after COP27, Ghana went to Montreal for COP15 as part of the CBD. So this law came in November 2022 when we were out there on the international forum talking about our work and our actions on climate and our actions on biodiversity. In November 2022, a new legal instrument, LI 2462, called the Environmental Protection, Mining and Forest Reserve Regulation, was quietly passed. Civil society only became aware of this clandestine action by the EPA and government in March 2023. Under the Right to Information Act, concerned civil society organizations have sent requests to relevant public institutions for information on the processes that led to the passing of LI 2462, but responses have either been limited or absent. Ghanaians, especially the rural communities, need to know what this LI entails and how it affects them. Now, let me take us through what this LI is going to do to all of us. The LI, as we know, is not the first of its kind. Ghana already had what we call environmental guidelines on mining